It's quite a production.
It's very hard to shoot in a real prison.
This is an old place. There's a lot of prison history here.
But the actors actually worked in this 3.5-foot distance between the bed and the wall to get a light into somebody's eyes, along with the cameras and the people and the sound man and the boom, is almost a geometric problem.
It's 106 degrees.
It's a physical challenge as well as a mental challenge, and it is prison.
Anything can happen, man.
Prison Break is a story about two brothers, one of whom is in prison on death row.
The only way to get him out of prison is to break him out.
I find it incumbent that you see the inside of a prison cell, Mr. Schofield.
Michael gets himself thrown into the same prison to help his older brother escape.
Once we got the green light for this, the first order of business was finding where we were going to shoot. We wanted the prison, obviously, to have a character of its own.
Joliet has 150 years of grim, gritty authenticity to offer up, which you simply could not replicate on a soundstage in Burbank.
This prison only shut down a couple of years ago.
You know, a set designer can do really wonderful things, but when you get in something that's real, you can feel it.
They shot some stuff right here in John Wayne Gacy's cell. That's not a set.
This is not fake anything. It becomes like an asylum. It becomes like a nut house.
The heat is just oppressive in there for us.
There's no air conditioning.
It's hot here. It's about 100 degrees outside, and you go into one of those cell blocks, and it is stiflingly hot.
We had someone pass out on the first day because it was 106 degrees.
It was really sobering.
Open it up on 40.
Scene 50 is a very simple scene, but I think it speaks to a lot of what's going on plot-wise.
Michael starts to test the new tool that he got in the preceding episode that's going to unlock the wash basin that's eventually going to be his way out of the cell.
Open on 40!
Officer Bellick, who has it out for Michael's character, is in fact on his way to the cell, and if he finds that one screw on the floor, the whole plan goes, down the crapper.
Haywire, get in here!
And he's there to introduce Haywire. My new cellmate is fresh from the psych ward.
Immediately when you look at this man in his eyes, you know that there's no possible way you'll ever be able to communicate with him.
Obviously, he's not going to enlist Haywire because this is not the kind of guy you want to be in the tunnel with when you're getting out. But there's a quandary there, which is if you don't enlist him, when the heck do you dig?
And we realize that Hero has now got a challenge that's probably insurmountable.
I like a lot of cameras because I think there's things that the audience needs to see that's not necessarily written. Somebody's hands are nervous. Somebody is trying to hide something. The way somebody looks or glances. Everyone's pinched in there pretty darn tight.
You were often elbow to elbow with your neighbors trying to film complicated scenes.
It's hard to shoot small places in small places.
Brutal. You can only fit 2 people and maybe 1 camera and an operator, and it's very hard to shoot.
To get a light into somebody's eyes is almost a geometric problem where something would fit along with the cameras and the people and the sound man and the boom.
We've built a cell with removable walls. When we need to get a certain camera angle, we can take 1 wall or 2 walls out and be able to shoot around.
If you have to shoot this way, they'll move a wall and you'll shoot this in one direction, and then they'll have to shoot in the other direction, so they have to put the wall back in that they were just shooting through.
I've tried not to take the walls out where I can. We did take out the back wall so the camera had some space, but the actors actually worked in this 3.5-foot distance between the bed and the wall, and the bar is closed.
You see me with a book, and yet I've got a makeshift Allen wrench.
Open on 40! He hears that they're opening his cell. We do a light cue, which basically blasts, several lights around the prison, but one in particular that hits the wall in his cell, so that at the moment of almost being caught, there's a visual jarring moment as well. Go feed! I chose to take the liberty and make the light in his cell very moody. We've kept shots tight and confined by virtue of the size of these cells.
Close it up on 40.
We decided to condense the scene, collectively as a group.
The scene used to be carried by Haywire's dialogue.
We had scripted it that he comes in and they have a very long conversation.
I don't want to see this, I don't want to hear that, and I don't sleep.
At this point in the series, we'll have already encountered a number of players in the prison.
Heard you were D.B. Cooper.
It's better for me to owe you one in here than it is for you to owe me one.
A lot of things are running through me in this prison. I'm pretty powerful inside here.
Hey, come at me, John. I'm coming after you.
I doubt it.
And there have been a number of conversations about, okay, we have an antagonism here between us. Here's what's wrong with you, and here's what's right with me. And so it felt a little bit the same to us. And what we thought would be far more unsettling would be not a character who's going to threaten him or anything like that, but rather the character that says nothing.
Open on 40. Schofield. Found you a new cellie. As luck would have it, I found him in a psych ward. You're the only guy with an empty tray, so...
Psych ward.
You got a problem with that? Because if you do, please, feel free to drop it in my suggestion box here.
Well, I'm proud of the way it looks, I don't feel like I've compromised what I would be doing in a feature film.
Hey, Wire, get in here.
Each scene to me is like a story. Every scene sort of has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And there's all sorts of good stuff that happens in there, and how much you're allowed to tap in the details is sort of the beauty of this show.
Close it up on 40.
It has the potential of becoming something special.
It's really an integral scene to the whole piece.
Oh, Schofield, don't make eye contact with him.
Hopefully you'll get a taste of the tension and the danger that I think will define this series.